Diamond Standard, Jason Knoll, and of course, Chris Von Lohr. Chris Von Lohr, I can't talk about him enough. 6'7", 275 pounds from Dead Horse, Alaska. I'm going to make him a star. I tell you what, I've had people like Noah Torella. I've had a lot of great wrestlers over the time, but Chris Von Lohr is the man that is smart enough to understand what I'm telling him and the guidance that I provide to him. And I tell you what, and if you want to know anything about Michael Titus, once again, I am not only a manager extraordinaire, but I learned everything I ever known about professional wrestling and managers from greats like the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Classy Freddie Blassie, the Doctor of Style Slick, the Devious One, Mr. Fuji, and of course people from NWA like J.J. Dillon and Jim Cornette, a fast talker himself in his own right. And I'll tell you what, all I ever wanted to do was be a professional wrestling manager, and that's exactly what I'm doing here in the Colorado indie wrestling scene. And as far as this show goes, this is about independent wrestling here in the state of Colorado. It's the minor leagues of professional wrestling. It's been around for 13 years. 5 major promotions, like I've said, NRW, ACW, NEW, Primos, and UWA, and the 4 minor promotions, OMLL, LLMA, Lucha Libre Denver, and of course, Stomp Invasion Pro Wrestling. And the whole point of this show is to give you more in-depth knowledge about the wrestlers here in the state of Colorado. And of course, I am your host. I'm considered the bad boy of Colorado wrestling, that's for sure. You know, we got people like the Superstar, who I will have an interview in the weeks to come. Superstar Andrew Ryan. He is like Cody Rhodes for the Colorado indie wrestling scene. Chris Von Lohr, a mix of Barry Windham and Jack Swagger. Aaron the Candyman. He's Arn and Ole Anderson wrapped into one. That's a bad dude right there. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew. He's right now in Mexico City, and we're going to have that interview play later on in the show that didn't play last week. That exclusive interview I got with him right before he boarded the plane to Mexico City, Mexico. And unfortunately, I didn't know about any shows this week. No one notified me, and then I found out that on the night of Survivor Series, Sunday, November 20th, OMLL, Organización Mundial de Lucha Libre, they had a show at Tammy's Event Center in Commerce City. Romeo Falcon and Golden Star took on Lynx and Bramlett. I heard that match happened, but as far as the other matches, I don't know. And I tell you what, if you have a hard time understanding me because I talk fast, wait till you see Lucha Libre action. It's so fast, it's mind-boggling. It blurs. It's just a static across the screen. You can't even see it. You can't understand it. But you know, the next week in my promotion profile, I'm going to be talking about Asylum Championship Wrestling because they're going to have a big show at the Hillside Community Center on Saturday, November 26th down in Colorado Springs. So I'm going to give you all about them and about the show results that's happening for that show coming up this weekend. And as I get along, I'm going to jump ahead in the segments that I normally do, and I'm going to talk about this week in wrestling history already. You know, as I was looking across and I was going across the internet looking for what happened in wrestling during this past week in history, I came across a lot of television tapings that they had. And I discovered World Class Championship Wrestling. They had a show on November 19th, 1983. And basically there was a lot of garbage that went on during the whole show. I kind of was bored to tears. The only thing that seemed to be remotely interesting was that gorgeous Jimmy Garvin seemed to have 2 valets, a former Sunshine and a new Sunshine. And the former Sunshine comes in and rips the clothes off of the other Sunshine, the new Sunshine. That was the only thing, surprisingly enough. I mean, they have a lot of old footage, and you got Bill Mercer out there talking about his boring stories, and you got Kamala in there, not sure what he's doing. You got Kimchi and this Sheik Ale Kaka Babubu, Ale trying to, fight over who's the real manager of him. It's unbelievable. So that was a boring show. But, then I got onto Georgia Championship Wrestling. It was November 21st, 1981. And what I found interesting about that was it was Gordon Soley and Roddy Piper doing commentary. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't know Piper did commentary until 89. When he was with Gorilla Monsoon, when Bobby Heenan decided that he was going to leave primetime wrestling and have his own show, the Bobby Heenan Show. And no, I did not copycat it. My name is Michael Titus. I decided I should have a show called Michael Titus, the Michael Titus Show. I didn't copy Bobby Heenan. I don't care. Well, stop looking at me through the glass there, and David Prill trying to give me this, evil eye. But happened on Georgia Championship Wrestling on November 21st, 1981. Was Tommy Wildfire Rich. He wanted to face the newly reinstated masked wrestler, the Superstar. No, it's not the Superstar that we see today, 21 years old from Colorado Springs, Colorado. No, this was actually Bill Eadie, who later became Demolition Axe. And they were previewing their match. They were going to have the Texas Death Match at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia on Thanksgiving night. That was their Thanksgiving special. So basically, that show that happened at the Omni would later be the precursor to Starrcade. Starrcade would happen every Thanksgiving, and then people forgot about Starrcade and they started remembering Survivor Series. And I'm going to be talking about the Survivor Series that happened this past weekend. But you know what? We're going to be coming back after the break. It's the Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com. I got a whole bunch of things to talk about later on in the program. We're going to be talking about Aaron the Candyman. We're going to be talking about the shows coming up this weekend. We're going to be talking about Chris Von Lohr. So you don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned because the Michael Titus Show is coming back right here on GoMileHigh.com.
GoMileHigh.com. Go Mile High.
Listen, here's Dylan Dave at GoMileHigh.com, and we offer you 0% hassle. That's right. And since you're already here, get behind the wheel and test drive our website. We got new and used shows from MMA, soccer, rodeo, dodgeball, and every kind of sports we could think of. So when you think sports radio, think Dylan Dave at
GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle. Get your brand.
Hey, sports fans, go to beonair.com to find out how you can launch a career in sports broadcasting. I'm Katie Mitchell, and I graduated from the Ohio Center for Broadcasting's Colorado campus. In less than a year, I got the hands-on experience I needed to start a career where I get paid to watch and talk about sports. While attending the Ohio Center for Broadcasting, I scored an internship and have been on air ever since. So if you want to work in sports radio like me, text FANS to 33239. Classes start soon, so text FANS, that's FANS, to 33239 today.
Go Mile High. You're listening to GoMileHigh.com.
Join us on the pitch with Ronnie Lee and Dave on GoMileHigh.com as we talk about everything surrounding soccer in the world, from England to Italy to Spain. Get it here. Get your weekly dose of the beautiful game on GoMileHigh.com.
There won't be much MLS talk, but for those that like talking minor league sports, you can call in and let us know what you think.
Who's better, Manchester United or Barcelona? If you had one player to start a team, would it be Ronaldo, Messi, or Rooney? We'll discuss it all here on the pitch on GoMileHigh.com. Catch your breath.
Hello, my name is Ella, and I've been cursed. My stupid fairy godmother gave me the gift of obedience when I was a baby. This means I have to do what anybody tells me, even if I don't want to do it. I need to break this curse before somebody makes me do something terrible. My name is Ella, and I need to take control of my life. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
This is Chris Von Lohr, and you're listening to the Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com.
Good afternoon. Once again, it's the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com, broadcasting to you live from the Belmar area in Lakewood, Colorado. It's a wonderful afternoon. I'm so happy I could be here today. It was all thanks to Rob Wagner. It was in my back pocket. I paid him off to give me my own show. It's about time that they gave me my own show. Dave Prill. I told him, I said, he's going to have to, throw his weight around eventually. He's not going to just be able to sit in the chair hiding from the webcam over there, not being able to seen by the people out there. He's going to actually have to do some work and actually push the buttons back there, not falling asleep talking to Darren Chadwick back there. I don't know what the hell they're doing back there, but I tell you what, enough about them. Let's continue with Georgia Championship Wrestling. What I found interesting is that the WCCW native, Michael P.S. Hayes, Freebird Michael P.S. Hayes, he was tagging with Big Red. It's a big, I would say 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", somewhere around there, 400-pound black man who I guess wrestled in the 80s under the name Big Red, and he formed tag teams with Abdullah the Butcher and Gorgeous George Jr. But I guess this Jerry Big Red Reese, he retired from professional wrestling in 1991 and became a well-known cable TV preacher in the Atlanta area. And then I guess he died in 2002. at the age of 51. But yeah, it was interesting because you see Michael P.S.A.'s acting wild and crazy with his big flowing blonde hair, and then you got this big charismatic black man there too, and they're tagging up. Boy, they are a pair, that's for sure. It was something interesting to see that from 1981. But that was about it for Georgia Championship Wrestling. It was pretty boring. Roddy Piper was not rowdy yet, so he wasn't acting crazy like he normally does, waving his hair and talking about people picking their noses and doing what they do and, pulling teeth out and all that kind of stuff. So, but then happened on Saturday night, WCW Saturday night. It was the NWA still at that time for November 22nd, 1986. It was a build-up to Starrcade 86, was the night of the Skywalkers, and it was, like I said, Starrcade took place on Thanksgiving night, just as Survivor Series used to do, until they decided it'd be better to have the shows on Sundays instead of Thursday nights. But it happened from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, and the Omni. I guess it took place from two places, from Greensboro, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. The matches that night were at the Starrcade, because the WCW Saturday night was not that exciting. I didn't care anything about it, but it was what was interesting is the build-up and what actually happened at Starrcade 86. And he had the NWA champion, Ric Flair. He took on Nikita Koloff. Well, you know how that happened. It was a double disqualification. You can't beat Ric Flair. And Nikita Koloff, big Russian man that he is, you can't beat him. And then it was a first blood match for the television title. Tully Blanchard, Four Horsemen member, just like Ric Flair, with his manager J.J. Dillon, he defeated Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And then in a cage match, it was the tag team title match. Arn and Ole Anderson versus the Rock and Roll Express. The Rock and Roll Express won. And then that big Skywalkers match where they had the scaffolding and all that kind of stuff. It was the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, with their manager Paul Ellering, and they defeated the Midnight Express. Beautiful Bobby Eaton and whatever the other guy's name is. I don't care. He was nobody special until you got other people in there. But they're with their manager Jim Cornette. And then it was a hair versus hair match. Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man, handsome Jimmy Valiant, brother to luscious Johnny V, defeated Paul Jones, a manager who I guess wrestled at one particular point in time, but then he became a manager. He was not a very good linguistic man on the microphone, that's for sure. He always got tongue-tied. His mouth was moving, but no sound was coming out half the time. But I guess he got defeated, and Manny Fernandez, his man, was locked in a cage. So I tell you what, that's kind of an interesting thing that happened with them there. I tell you what, some of these shows are just not that exciting until you get to the WWE. And then that's when you get exciting. And that's where my history comes in, my knowledge of professional wrestling comes in, is the World Wrestling Federation, the WWE now it is. We had the WWF Superstars of Wrestling from November 22nd, 1986. And there was more build-up to WrestleMania 3 with the match between the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Big, hard-fought battle they had. And at WrestleMania 3, if you know anything about wrestling, you know what happened that night. That was when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated Randy Macho Man Savage and became the new Intercontinental Champion. Now, this is what I found interesting, is that if anybody knows me and knows about my pompadour and knows about anything that I do, they always think that I'm an Elvis impersonator. Well, I'm not an Elvis impersonator. A person who was an Elvis impersonator was the Honky Tonk Man. And on this particular episode, he wanted to know if the WWE Universe or the WWF fans at that particular point in time approved of the Honky Tonk Man. So they had Jesse the Body Ventura. He tallied up the votes and said there was 674,383 votes. They were casted. And Honky was like, I knew the people liked me. I knew it. Everybody likes the Honky Tonk Man, and they want the Honky Tonk Man to stay around here in the WWF. But no, those were how many votes that were casted. Only 71,111 votes said they actually liked the Honky Tonk Man. So that was a very distraught moment for the Honky Tonk Man until he got his manager, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and then he was able to take off and become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Over 15 months he held that title. It was unbelievable. No one has ever been able to hold that title for that amount of time, really. I mean, the only person that's ever held the title longer was possibly Bruno Sammartino, and he held it for like 6 years, I think. And Hulk Hogan held his first WWF championship for 4 years. And then little tidbits, odds and ends. On October 16th, 1998, former WWF superstar Bam Bam Bigelow, or Bigelow as some people called him, showed up on WCW Monday Nitro to flip over a few chairs, scream unintelligibly into the microphone, and demand an audience with Goldberg. I don't know who wrote that, but it's not how people talk. He basically came in and shouted and demanded that he wanted to have a match with Goldberg, who at that particular point in time had already had 133 consecutive wins, and he won the following week. He beat the Giant again. And then, of course, Rick Rude joins the NWO on November 17th, 1997. Well, enough about that old boring stuff. Nobody cares about that anymore. I tell you what, this past weekend, WWE Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter was at the Grand Marshal for the NASCAR Nationwide Series Championship race, the Ford 300, and you'd hear more about NASCAR on the Man Cave. And on Saturday, November 19th, it was the Homestead Miami Speedway. Well, we're going to be back with more of the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. You need to stay tuned. Give us a call at 720-258-8488. We'll be back.
Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
It's that moment when a person becomes something greater than themselves. The sports talk show host sets up to the microphone. He knows the pressure is on to deliver a spectacular performance. He drops back, hands the toss to his co-host. His co-host tosses back. It's a flea flicker. The host bombs it down the field, and the audience receives a touchdown. Oh my goodness, I can't believe what just happened.
We love sports, and we love to talk about it. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle.
Catch your breath.
Pack your bags. A broadcasting school is looking for you to study in the USA. The Ohio Center for Broadcasting's Colorado campus is now accepting students from all over the world for its international training program in radio and TV. For more information, Skype us at BeOnAirUSA or visit beonair.com/USA. You can take classes in English or Spanish. In addition to getting hands-on experience in radio and TV, you will also get to enjoy an active lifestyle in beautiful and sunny Colorado. Our campus is located just an hour away from the mountains and within minutes from downtown Denver and footsteps to Belmar Shopping Center, complete with diverse dining, shopping, and entertainment options. For more information, Skype us at BeOnAirUSA or visit beonair.com/USA. Be on air and be in the USA.
Go Mile High is easy to find on Facebook, too. Like us. GoMileHigh.com.
Imagine this. You're at work. You know a blockbuster trade is happening sometime in the day, but there's no television or radio in your office. What do? Log on to GoMileHigh.com and listen to the Press Box, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. We give you all of the latest sports news from the convenience of your computer, and it's free. The Press Box brings you different hosts daily with their own unique twists on the sports world. So update your coworkers with the latest information from the Press Box, 3 to 5 p.m. every day on GoMileHigh.com.
My 12-year-old Jamil suffers from asthma. If he ever got the flu, it could threaten his life.
The flu can make some health conditions worse, such as asthma, diabetes, heart disease, or kidney disease. African Americans are at greater risk for some of these conditions.
I got my son vaccinated. I could never forgive myself if I put him at risk.
Get yourself and the ones you love vaccinated. Visit www.flu.gov to see if you're eligible for a free vaccine and to find a flu vaccine near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, this is Aaron the Candyman, and you're listening to Michael Titus, the Michael Titus Radio Show at GoMileHigh.com.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. Hey, how you guys doing out there? You want to give me a call? You want to talk about wrestling in general or Colorado indie wrestling? Give me a call at 720-258-8488. So I'm streaming live right now on livestream.com. You can listen live on GoMileHigh.com. If you want to find out anything and everything about the Michael Titus Show, you need to go to Facebook.com and look for the Michael Titus Show. You can follow me on Twitter at Michael_Titus. Or I also have a website, themichaeltitus.com. So you better check it out. You're going to find out a lot of interesting things about myself. So what's going on in Colorado indie wrestling? Well, You know what happened at NRW if you were there or if you were listening to my show. We have a new NRW champion, Jesse Williams. Jesse Williams has had a long, hard-fought battle to try to get that NRW championship. He finally defeated the Superstar. The Superstar has held it since June 4th of this year when he became the very first NRW champion. And it's the Jesse Williams era, is what I understand right now. And therefore, he plans on keeping that title basically until he dies. I mean, I don't know if that could be tomorrow, if it could be the next day, or if it could be a month from now. Or it could be a year from now. Who knows? But he plans on keeping that, and he wants to go out as the one and only champion for NRW. I don't know how he's going to do that because the company may live longer than he does. Who knows? But with Swan Christopher at the helm, it could be closed by tomorrow because the man is a brain-dead idiot. That's what he is. He's got the mentality of an egg. It's unbelievable. I've never seen a man so incompetent. And then he goes out and says he's got to get himself an attorney, Bethany Allred. And Bethany Allred comes in and actually usurps his power. He thinks, oh, okay, I'm going to get Bethany Allred, and she's going to enforce my policies and procedures. Actually, she enforced the legal policies and procedures that should be going on in NRW, not what Swan Christopher thinks. Swan Christopher has got an inflated ego and an inflated head to match. His ego and his brains are so inflated, they're more inflated than my hair. It's unbelievable. This guy thinks he's somebody special. He's really not somebody special at all. But you know what? It's not over. Because as far as I'm concerned, if it's the last thing that I do, we're going to remove Swan Christopher from power. We're going to get somebody better. Even if I have to be the one that runs the show, I'll do it. But it's not going to be him anymore because he doesn't have what it takes. He's not a smart man. But you know who is a smart man? It's Chris Von Lohr. I can't tell you enough about Chris Von Lohr. The man is 6'7", 275 pounds. The man is in phenomenal shape. And if you were there at NRW, which if you weren't, you'll get to see it again back in January when the shows return, I'm going to be wearing my airbrush jacket of Chris Von Lohr. Cost me a lot of money, but I was worth it. Because to get his image on the back of my jacket signifies that he's a great wrestler. And that's what's important, is that you all have to know. I don't care if I'm going to have to go out and get the total package Sam Udell, if I get the fitness guru Wayne DeWayne. Everyone is going to pale in comparison to Chris Von Lohr. Nobody's better than Chris Von Lohr as far as I'm concerned. And the reason I'm so high on the guy is because he's got what it takes to be NRW champion. He has what it takes to be the TNA champion. He's got what it takes to be the WWE champion. And with my knowledge, my skills, and my abilities, and with all the connections that I'm already getting, I'm getting phone calls from people across the globe wanting me. And all I have to do is say, well, show me the money. Once you show me the money, then I will come knocking on your door. But until that time, got to forget about it. I'm not coming until you show me the money. It's like Jerry Maguire here. But you know what? NEW, I don't know. I got a lot of flack, and that's why they call me the bad boy of Colorado Indie Wrestling. And because I did things at NEW that I probably shouldn't have done. I brought in the truth from the sister show, Wrestling Sister Show, the Full Nelson. I brought him in. And I said, hey, why don't you get in the ring and I want you to talk a little bit. But I want you to make sure that you know what you're talking about and I want you to groom yourself to be one of the top managers here in Colorado. So he goes in there and makes a fool out of himself. And I thought the consequence was an idiot. Truth, you got a lot of training to do. You know, I thought that the question mark was the weakest link in the bomb squad, but it seems to me that, you know, Truth, you're starting to fall off the map, and the derogatory things that you've been saying against Chris Von Lohr, we're going to have to address that at a later date because I just cannot allow that to happen. All those derogatory things, calling him fat. Who are you calling fat? Look at you. I know you've been on a diet plan and things like that, but come on, get real. You're just a fat little black man. That's all you are. But you know what? If you listen to me and you do what I tell you to do, you'll be an intelligent manager and you will be able to run Bomb Squad and be able to take them to the heights in NEW. It's no doubt. And NEW will be back, coincidentally, on December 11th, 2011. You don't want to miss that. That's a Sunday show up in there in Golden, Colorado, Buffalo Rose. They got big cards planned. You got Black Ops running amok. Border Crashers. You've got those guys. There's just a lot of talent there. They got the gold standard Michael Madoff, the diamond standard Jason Knoll. We got a lot of great talent in NEW. You don't want to miss that show. It's a 6 o'clock start time. And when NRW returns in January, it's going to be a phenomenal show, phenomenal production, everything. It's the best of the best in the state of Colorado, there's no doubt. And then UWA is going to be on Saturday, December 3rd. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a big show up in Fort Collins, Colorado. They're going to have that at the Qdoba Events Center. A lot of great talent that comes into that building. You've got Brian Von Dusen. You've got Brian Blade. You've got Fallout, who is the UWA champion, who defeated the Lost Soul, Tony Ortega. A lot of great talent. Chris Von Lohr, my giant, is there, and I'm going to take him. And if we have to, we will take out Fallout, the big crazy man from wherever he comes from. We're going to take him out, and I'm going to make Chris Von Lohr the UWA champion. If it's the last thing that I do, I'm going to make sure that he has all of the main titles for all of the main promotions, even if I have to take him to that Juggalo promotion, Primos, and make him a champion there, the 303 champion or whatever we're going to do. But this is the Michael Titus Show. We're going to be back right here on GoMileHigh.com. We'll be back in a short.
Go Mile High is easy to find on Facebook, too. Like us. GoMileHigh.com.
You're listening to GoMileHigh.com.
Oh, there we go.
We may not be perfect, but we love sports. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle. Catch your breath.
Hey, John, why do you keep hitting yourself in the head with that hammer?
Well, I found this really great home. It's a Fannie Mae foreclosure, and it needs some renovations, but I don't know who to talk to about getting financing on this type of home.
You should call the mortgage team of Jennifer Hill and Matt Harris at American Liberty Mortgage. They were able to get me and my husband a renovation loan, and we were able to finance all the rehab costs.
Really?
Yeah, and they're really easy to work with, and interest rates are really low right now.
Do you have their number?
Of course I do. You can call the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt at 303-901-6042. That's 303-901-6042. Now put that hammer on the ground and back away slowly.
GoMileHigh.com. Are you freaking kidding me? GoMileHigh.com.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't log off that computer yet. You know what time it is. 7 o'clock on a Monday. That only means one thing. Overtime on GoMileHigh.com. I'm Josh Dover, alongside Ronnie Taylor and Kevin Retner. We got you every Monday night from 7 to 9 on GoMileHigh.com. We break down the weekend of sports, yesterday's NFL games, and what's new with the Rockies.
We're talking Broncos. Will Tebow live up to the hype? Also, your Denver Nuggets. What will they do this offseason to get over the Carmelo era? So tune in every Monday night, 7 to 9 for Overtime, only on GoMileHigh.com.
Are you tired of the same old plain sports shows throughout the week and you stuck listening to them? Well, now it's time to change your sports life around. Check out Overtime, Monday nights from 7 to 9. Me, Ronnie T, Big Kev, Josh Dover. We bring sports talk to a whole nother level. We take it real and raw. We don't hold any punches. You want Nuggets, Broncos, Avalanche, Rockies? We got you here. Make sure you stay locked. Overtime, the only thing that helps you get through Mondays.
You missed a spot.
Hey, Charlie, what gives?
Hey, did you see that play last night?
Oh, unbelievable. What do they feed that guy?
Yeah, but they still lost.
Yeah, I know.
You know, when I was playing, what we tried to do with
you played on Biltmore Street.
Hey, come on. I played in the service.
Oh, right.
Anyhow, what I'm trying to say is the kid, he should have...
Yeah, he should have fallen down. Hey, you okay? Stop joking around. Oh, no. Someone call 911!
It can happen anytime, any place, without warning. Fact is, 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die of a heart attack or stroke, and many don't even know they're at risk. The good news is, if you or someone you love has diabetes, you can lower the risk, but it's up to you to ask your healthcare provider how. For more information, go to diabetesactnow.org. That's diabetesactnow.org. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association and the Ad Council.
This is Chris Von Lohr, and you're listening to The Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com.
Oh, we're back. Why didn't you give me a cue, David? What's wrong with you, Dave Brill? Stop pointing me at the fingers in my faces. I'm telling you what. You were pointing at the ladies outside that were looking at you and Ronnie Lee in there. I saw what was going on. all those bevy of beauties that you got that are listening to your soccer show on the pitch. It's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com at 1 o'clock sharp. I tell you what, I'm going to have to get myself a new producer if this guy doesn't work out. Get Rob Wagner to try to get a whole revolving door of talent that's going to have to come through here to try to replace Dave Prill.
Well, they're going to have to start giving me a paycheck if you want to replace me.
Now you're asking for money now. You should be glad to be on my show. You shouldn't be demanding money. I tell you what, we'll get to you next. Maybe your music won't play for you're on the pitch. We'll see what that happens. You know, I'm your producer. I know what's going on. I know how to work the buttons. You don't. But enough about him. Let's talk about that voluptuous woman, my pinup gal. You know who she is. Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero. Wasn't she something in that sequin number she was wearing at the Survivor Series? If you were to check it out, I tell you what, a lot of people say that they don't like her because they say that she's a loudmouth and she's fat and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you what, she's not a loudmouth. She just goes out there and speaks her mind, and that's what's important. And she's a phenomenal manager. There's nobody better right now in the World Wrestling Entertainment. And they're talking about fat? She lost a lot of weight. I don't care what that little Polish prince down in Colorado Springs, that little Polak, Randy Pascal, said. He's like, oh, fat women make him throw up in his mouth. Let me tell you something. Just because you want little stick figure women, broomstick women, doesn't mean that all women have to look like that and that they're ugly and things like that. You know, the man is deranged as far as I'm concerned. And he wants to be my bodyguard? Please. I'd have to put him in an insane asylum before that'll ever happen. I tell you what. But you know what? She did some phenomenal things. She did at the Survivor Series that I think that if her boobs didn't get in the way, she would have been able to got away with it scot-free. She reached into the ring, grabbed Dolph Ziggler's boot, and put it on the bottom rope right there. Right there so that he wouldn't get pinned 1, 2, 3 by John Morrison. But what happens? The referee saw her. Well, like I said, if her boobs didn't get in the way, she would have been able to get out of that ring scot-free and nobody would have noticed. I've done that numerous times, and no one's ever caught me. I've never been ejected from the building. I don't know what this obsession is to eject her from ringside. That is despicable as far as I'm concerned. That's for sure. But that was one of the matches that happened at the Survivor Series. It was for the United States Championship. Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison. John Morrison, I understand, and you'll find out more from the Full Nelson, that I guess his contract is up in 3 weeks, or less than 3 weeks now. And so he suffered a miserable defeat against Dolph Ziggler. And were you surprised? Dolph Ziggler knows what he's doing. He's a smart man. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He shouldn't be the United States champion. He should be the WWE champion as far as I'm concerned. And then did you see that Divas match? That Lumberjill match for the Divas Championship? Boy, was it boring. Until, at the last split second, the Glamazon, Beth Phoenix, was able to do the Glam Slam right off of the top rope. Right, Eve Torres just splat right there in the middle of the ring. It was unbelievable. I don't know, I think Beth Phoenix blew out a hip or something with that particular maneuver, but she was able to retain her Divas Championship. And then you had Mark Henry versus The Big Show. No, they didn't break the ring this time. It was reinforced. I tell you what, it looked like the ACW show ring had so many bells and whistles and all that fixtures to try to keep it together, all of the come-alongs and ratchet straps and everything like that. Tell you what, that thing wasn't going to move. When they talk about reinforcements, that's what they brought in for that particular match. But Mark Henry remained the world champion. Big Show was able to, at the end of the match, though, to give his weapon of mass destruction. He delivered that huge punch to Mark Henry. He did a leg drop on Mark Henry's ankle with a chair, with his leg stuck in a chair. So, Big Show got his message across, but he didn't win the title. What a shame. Like the Big Show needs to win the World Heavyweight title again, like he did when he was, 23 years old back in WCW. And then Alberto Del Rio lost against CM Punk. Ricardo Rodriguez did everything that he could to prevent that from happening, from the title being lost. Alberto Del Rio did everything, but you know what? That Anaconda Vice is too much. You know, Dave, why don't you come in here and I'll put the Anaconda Vice on you and we'll see how that feels for you. You want something like that? Maybe I'll do that to Consequence later on tonight.
It sounds like fun.
Oh, you want the Anaconda Vice? Whoa. You know what an anaconda is. It's going to wrap you and squeeze you to death. And then we have John Cena and The Rock versus The Miz and R-Truth. A lot of people thought that they would have seen more of a dichotomy between The Rock and John Cena in terms of their feud that's building up for WrestleMania 28, but they didn't see that. You know, sure, The Rock is conceited and arrogant and doesn't like John Cena and calls him Fruity Pebbles and bland and got a mangina and has ovulating and all that kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of, you know, not PG material, that's for sure, but there wasn't really anything of fighting, you know. I mean, sure, The Rock gave his rock bottom to John Cena, but so what? That was nothing. But they still won. And The Miz and R-Truth, if you saw on Monday Night Raw, there's a dissension among the ranks because John Cena caused the dissension. He's all talking about how that R-Truth thinks that The Miz is a pompous jerk with a big mouth and who's just a skinny punk kid that was on a reality show, and The Miz thinks R-Truth is some schizophrenic nut job. So there's dissension in the ranks. They've been fighting, but the Miz got the job done by delivering the skull-crushing finale right there on the stage. So that's it. The Miz, he's on to bigger and better things, and I think he's back on the title hunt. He's going to go back for the WWE Championship. Well, we're going to be back for more of the Michael Titus Show when we return after this short break. So stay tuned. Here it is, the Michael Titus Show with me, the Rocky Mountain Mouth, Michael Titus, on GoMileHigh.com.
Go Mile High is easy to find on Facebook, too. Like us. GoMileHigh.com.
GoMileHigh.com is proud to present Internet Sports Radio at the push of a button. No matter where you are in the world, simply log on to GoMileHigh.com so you can catch up on your favorite sports.
What do you think about this matchup? These two teams hate each other.
Stop wasting your time with that old portable radio and join the future of sports broadcasting. Log on. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle. Catch your breath.
Pack your bags. A broadcasting school is looking for you to study in the USA. The Ohio Center for Broadcasting's Colorado campus is now accepting students from all over the world for its international training program in radio and TV. For more information, Skype us at BeOnAirUSA or visit beonair.com/USA. You can take classes in English or Spanish. In addition to getting hands-on experience in radio and TV, you will also get to enjoy an active lifestyle in beautiful and sunny Colorado. Our campus is located just an hour away from the mountains and within minutes from downtown Denver and footsteps to Belmar Shopping Center, complete with diverse dining, shopping, and entertainment options. For more information, Skype us at BeOnAirUSA or visit beonair.com/USA. Be on air and be in the USA.
Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
Welcome to the Press Box.
You basically trade away Jay Cutler for Kyle Orton and some draft picks, and then you draft a quarterback.
Recorded live in Lakewood, Colorado, the Press Box is your source for online sports news and updates.
I just had an awesome thought on the radio right there. That was just great.
Daily, 3 to 5 p.m.
You can say yourself.
I mean,
Take the easy out.
Yeah, I am probably the best player.
1, your roof collapses. 2, Hurricane Katrina. 3, terrorist attacks. And then 4, light.
The Press Box, 3 to 5 p.m. on GoMileHigh.com.
Yo, what's up? This is the Black Eyed Peas, and we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in our lives, but nothing is more important than life itself. So when you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road. Don't plan to drive, just plan ahead.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Aaron the Candyman, and you're listening to Michael Titus, the Michael Titus Radio Show at GoMileHigh.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. We're streaming live on Livestream.com and you can listen live at GoMileHigh.com. If you want to talk about Colorado Indie Wrestling, if anybody's awake out there, give us a call at 720-258-8488. And on the Michael Titus Show, we talk about Colorado Indie Wrestling and wrestling in general. And then if you want to talk about the big sports, World Wrestling Entertainment, total nonstop action, a Ring of Honor, you need to tune into the sister show, The Full Nelson with the Truth and Consequence, tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Continuing on with the Survivor Series, it was Team Orton versus Team Barrett. He had Orton, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Mason Ryan, Kofi Kingston, and Sin Cara. Kofi Kingston, of course, is the one half of the tag team champions. And you may be wondering and asking yourself, whatever happened to Evan Bourne? Well, because I am the bad boy of Colorado indie wrestling, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to give you that exclusive. There is a man right now who's in Kansas City, Kansas, or it's Missouri, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But he's out there wrestling for Metro Pro Wrestling. His name is the Passionate One, Jack Masidal. And I'm holding him personally responsible for what happened to Evan Bourne. I am. That old wellness policy issue, I'm going to tell you right now, it was Jack Masidal. Jack Masidal is a crazy man, and if it wasn't him, it certainly was that other so-called wrestler, the Chippendale dancer himself, Josh FX Evans. And that's not a joke. He really is a Chippendale dancer. That's where he makes his bread and butter. Well, and among other places he makes his bread and butter, but I'll get to that at a different time and place and event and all that sort of stuff. But that's what happened. That's why Evan Bourne isn't there. Him and his synthetic marijuana, synthetic steroids, or whatever he was taking, that is who was responsible for it. And I don't care what anybody says, it was Jack Masidal. Maybe it was Aaron the Candyman, but nah, he's not too bright for that. Could have been Perfect 10, the number 5 manager in the state of Colorado. Because she moved up a few spots. Sean Matthews has moved down a few spots. The Games Master is still number 2. I don't care what anybody says. I'm the number 1 manager in the state of Colorado. But in that particular match with Team Barrett, you had, of course, the Intercontinental Champion, Cody Rhodes, Jack Swagger, Hunico, and the United States Champion, Dolph Ziggler, who replaced an injured Christian. He's got an ankle issue, I believe. Dolph Ziggler was the first one eliminated. Sin Cara took himself out with a whole mess up over the top rope. He hurt his knee, had to have surgery on his patella. It's unfortunate. He's going to get future endeavored, I know it. It's not a good thing. It's a bad news. They should have kept Hunico as the Sin Cara Negro. That would have been a much better decision on WWE's part. It came down to Wade Barrett, the Barrett Barrage, and the Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes. They defeated Randy Orton and the whole Team Orton team. Jack Swagger, Hunico, and of course Dolph Ziggler were eliminated from that match. But now, because it didn't play last week, I am going to give you that exclusive interview with Aaron the Candyman, if Mr. Dave Prill would be so kind as to press the button to make it play.
Hello, everyone. This is Michael Titus for the Michael Titus Show. I'm having an exclusive interview. I'm just barely getting moments before he gets boarding a plane to Mexico City. Aaron the Candyman. Aaron, I want to ask you a few questions. I want to ask you, okay, please, all the listeners that are listening to my show on GoMileHigh.com, they want to know some exclusive information about you. Please tell them all about yourself. Come on, tell them.
Hello. How are you? I'm kind of trying to go to a flight, Michael. What are you doing?
Well, we got to know, because I got to get this before. Who knows when you're coming back, and my listeners want to know about Aaron the Candyman. They've been calling me, texting me. They have been beating down my door. They want to know about Aaron the Candyman.
That must have pissed off your roommate if they're beating down your door. I mean, who's been asking you about me? Is it those morons over at the Full Nelson? Because I know they don't know anything about wrestling. Why would they ask about me?
It's all the fans. It's all your fans, Aaron the Candyman. They want to know about you.
All the 12-year-olds? I didn't even think they could use computers. I throw candy. My fans are 12. What do you want from me?
All right, okay, tell us. Why did you get into professional wrestling? Just tell us the exclusive.
For the chicks, and then the prestige. Pro wrestling's a very prestigious sport to get into. I mean, it's the highest form of entertainment. Everyone looks at them like royalty. It's not like a C-list kind of celebrity like Tom Cruise. I mean, you're A-list, like people like Santino Marella are A-list. That's why I got into wrestling.
All right, so I'll call. And what are your goals and aspirations? I mean, what do you hopefully want to attain in the wrestling world?
You know, mostly I just want to go to other countries and find awesome chocolate. You know, I mean, that's all I really want to attain. And maybe some water. I want to attain some water. Oh, wait, it's retain water, isn't it? I want to retain water. That's what I want to do in wrestling. But mostly I just want to find chocolates. Yeah, good chocolates.
So what do you hope to accomplish being in Mexico City, Mexico?
I love chiclets and those little chili suckers. I don't even remember what those are called, but those things are amazing. Amazing. Michael, that's the only reason I'm going to Mexico City, for chiclets and for the chili suckers. That's it.
Was there anything else that you could possibly tell the fans, the listeners, about Aaron the Candyman and what they can hope to see from you in the future?
Hopefully a skinnier Aaron the Candyman, because, you know, that Mexican water goes right through you.
Are you going to give up the chocolate and the candy?
I'm never going to give that up. I'm just going to drink water out of Mexico. I'm going to lose like 40 pounds with a glass of water. It's going to be amazing. You know, Montezuma's Revenge and all that. And then, you know, you can expect to see me fly around a little bit more, hopefully. You know, travel the world, become a star. Like I belong in, you know, in the stars. I should be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Aaron the Candyman. I know you got to get onto your plane, and we appreciate that. We hope to see you real soon.
Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
Is this broadcasting rook really ready for the big show? The radio host steps up to the mic and clears his throat. The co-host winds up. Oh, and the host knocks it high and deep towards the center speaker. Home run! Home run! The callers go completely crazy and the phones light up.
We love sports, and we love to talk about it. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle.
Catch your breath.
Hey, John, why do you keep hitting yourself in the head with that hammer?
Well, I found this really great home. It's a Fannie Mae foreclosure, and it needs some renovations, but I don't know who to talk to about getting financing on this type of home.
You should call the mortgage team of Jennifer Hill and Matt Harris at American Liberty Mortgage. They were able to get me and my husband a renovation loan, and we were able to finance all the rehab costs.
Really?
Yeah, and they're really easy to work with, and interest rates are really low right now.
Do you have their number?
Of course I do. You can call the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt at 303-901-6042. That's 303-901-6042. Now put that hammer on the ground and back away slowly.
Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
GoMileHigh.com is proud to present Internet Sports Radio at the push of a button. No matter where you are in the world, simply log on to GoMileHigh.com so you can catch up on your favorite sports.
Can't believe it, Kelly!
Stop wasting your time with that old portable radio and join the future of sports broadcasting. Log on. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle. Catch your breath.
Hi. I can't come to the phone right now because I'm abusing my children. Not just verbally, but physically. I'll get back to you.
If only child abuse was this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call Child Help at 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit childhelp.org. We've helped millions of people help millions of children. All calls are anonymous and confidential, so call 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit childhelp.org. Child Help. Trust your instincts. Brought to you by Child Help and the Ad Council.
This is Chris Von Lohr, and you're listening to The Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. I'm broadcasting live from the Belmar area in Lakewood, Colorado. Hope you're listening to the Rocky Mountain Mouth Michael Titus, your host. I told the full Nelson, I said I have to go out and get my own show because people want to hear me talk. I just know it. I just know people want to hear me talk. Rob Wagner even said people wanted to hear me talk. So that's why I'm here today, and I'm going to talk to you, talking about Colorado Indie Wrestling. We've only got a few minutes left in the broadcast, so I'm going to wrap it up and hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Just got a few more things I want to talk about. First and foremost, want to talk about is that this weekend, Saturday, November 26th, down in Colorado Springs at the Hillside Community Center, Asylum Championship Wrestling holds a big show. And I tell you what, I'm not supposed to tell anybody about this. I was informed that I have been spilling the beans for a long time now, but there is a 6-man tag match coming up on Saturday, November 26th at the ACW. It's Pat Tanaka, Michael Madoff, and yours truly. I'm donning the tights again, and I'm going to be taking on Brandon Bishop, Sam Udell, and Richard Gustafson. Or Scooter, as I like to call him. Big no-neck buffoon. We're going to take care of them and beat them up. And I understand that it's going to be for the ownership of ACW and declaring the new tag team champions of ACW. We're going to win because I'm tired of Brandon Bishop. I'm tired of his BS. We're going to get it taken care of. BB is full of BS, that's for sure. And I tell you what, then there's also Chris Von Lohr is taking on Jason Knoll. That's a heated battle between those two. Hopefully one of these days they will resolve their differences. Because Chris Von Lohr, he's a smart man. I know that. Jason Knoll, he's a little slow. I have to do what I can. If I didn't do the talking for him, he'd get himself trapped in a paper bag and not be able to find his way out. Then you have the ACW title match. Danger Dean is finally taking on the institutional champion, the Superstar. The Superstar is out for revenge. He is out to destroy Danger Dean for all of the derogatory things that Danger Dean has said over the years and all of his conceited arrogance that is just astounding because Danger Dean thinks he's much better than everyone else. He sat here in the studio with me, my very first show, the inaugural edition of the Michael Titus Show, and you saw what he was like. The man is a cocky individual, and he thinks that he knows what he's talking about. Sure, he went to OCB, the Ohio Center for Broadcasting. Sure, after 8 years, he finally made a name for himself, and he's now the morning show host of the Magic FM 98.9 in Colorado Springs. But that doesn't mean anything to me. He's nobody as far as I'm concerned. And if he wasn't so far up somebody's you-know-what with Brandon Bishop, he wouldn't have been able to get that ACW title as far as I'm concerned. So the Superstar he's out for blood. He's going to take care of Danger Dean, and he's going to be the new ACW champion. I think that's what's going to happen. Then on December 3rd, UWA right there from Fort Collins. December 4th, I got to tell you what, I guess there's this big match that's going to happen for Primo's Hardcore in Wrestling. It's the Grinch versus Santa Claus. I don't know how they got those two paired up, but supposedly that match is going to happen. Knowing Primo's, it's going to be some sort of hardcore match. Tables, ladders, chairs, barbed wire, broken glass, thumbtacks, you name it, kitchen sinks. They're going to have all of that paraphernalia out there. All the plunder, as Dusty Rhodes used to call it. I tell you what, it's unbelievable. But I'm going to have an exclusive profile of Chris Von Lohr. Going to talk about him, Dead Horse, Alaska, because he's going to be coming into town for ACW. I'm going to tell you all about him. I'm going to talk to you all about ACW, everything that's going to happen. So, you better like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, check out my website, listen live on GoMileHigh.com or later on live stream. Because stay tuned, it is now time for On the Pitch, the greatest soccer show alive with Dave and Ronnie Lee. Thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving. Take care. Bye-bye.
GoMileHigh.com. Are you freaking kidding me? GoMileHigh.com.